What the fuck?
What we talking
Welcome
about?
back. Hey, we're gonna get into it, Ted. I'm gonna get into the shit, all right? Let me just first by saying that this is a safe place. And I'm reveal some stuff about myself, if you will. All right? So just hear me out. Ain't nothing freaky or nasty or anything like that. All right.
Freak man.
Before I even get into all that aspect of it all, well, yeah, welcome back to the Legendary Action Podcast. It's been a minute since we, been on here and just talking about some shit, right? And this past couple week or two, I said I wanted to do a pod with the fellas, and here we are. Not everybody's here, but what you got, right?
Fuck 'em.
And who we have on the pod, on the Zoom call, we have, I'm going by first, who came in first. So, Tevin Barker.
Whoop, whoop. At the Crown Supply. What's the vibes?
AKA Jason Tatum.
AKA Ice JJ Fish.
Fuck you,
AKA
Fuck you, B. You want one too, Trey? Get your joke in.
Nope. I'm good, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Then we got the man himself, Jamar.
Chill. AKA Mr. Him over there. AKA, wordplay, yay. You know what I'm saying? What it do, people? Gang.
Charlie Murphy.
Darkness, everybody.
Darkness.
Hey, people did call me that in high school, though. Chill out, though. I ain't like that.
African booty scratching.
And last but not least, the one that had the most difficult with the
Chill out, brother. Goddamn.
Trey.
What's going on, man? AKA angryman.com. You feel me?
Shit.
That's it. That's all you get.
Before I get to the silly shit, I want to just go ahead and talk about some serious shit first and foremost. All right.
What happened?
And what I want to talk about necessarily, or just expand upon, is the black man. Okay.
Yes.
So I can go back to, and it's basically going to be about the killing of black men, just period, right? And I know I'm the type of person that normally don't speak on these type of things to the public on social media or even with other people besides, outside y'all. And I just want people to know that I constantly think about these fucking things on a regular basis. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a victim of any sorts, when it comes to being a black man in this world. But the way I look at life is kind of different, and as in by any means, I'm gonna survive. So if I gotta do what I have to do to survive, then I'm gonna do it. It's how I look at it, right? But I just wanted to be, broadcasted out there that just because I don't speak on these things, right, don't mean I constantly don't think of these things. And that's why I always said, I always go back to other podcasts where I talk about I wonder what an individual thinks when they walk past, or this is why I want to have Mike on it. Where one day I was on the game and I was talking about how when I was at the Y and I was just sitting there, I had my beanie on and this is when I had my beard at the time, right? And this lady approached kind of in the same area where I was sitting in the benches, right? And she was kind of sizing me up, looking at me, then looking away, and looking at me, looking away, right? And you got another individual that I don't know how to work now. But she was sizing me up, right? And then I look back at her, and then she looks away, right? And then she goes into her jacket and counts all her money in her wallet. was about to put it back into her sweater, but then kept it with her and then left her sweater there and left. And I was like, that's some odd ass shit right there.
Somebody
Right.
want your funky ass $20.
Yeah.
That's that's horrible, man. I never did understand that, bro. Especially the kind of cliche, but it happens, bro. When you see, you know, it might be a white woman or a white man in the elevator, you know what I'm saying? It's just y'all two, and they clutch their purse, or they clutch their wallet, or they pull their kid closer to them, or something like, you know what I'm saying? I never understood that shit, bro.
But that's just like a picture that they portrayed of us since the beginning of time. Angry black man willing to do whatever, steal, all this other shit. Just like they put that shit in the movies, bro. Like, it's not, when she saw Jack, it wasn't Jack. She saw what she's been taught. She saw what she's been seeing in movies and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how they really portray us to be away. And for the most part, not always like that, bro. We just like, we don't need to steal. We don't need to take nobody. We don't need to do shit. Like, we make our own money. We grown men, but
Hey, y'all ever seen the movie? Y'all ever seen the movie Crash?
Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so this movie Crash, you got a lot of people in it. It's too many people to name. It's a lot of people in it. And it speaks on that, exactly what you're talking about. You definitely need to go watch it, Jack. So the part of the movie is Ludacris and Lorenz Tate is they homies, and they just walking around in the rich part of the neighborhood. And the white lady is with her husband. Y'all niggas laughing?
Sandra Bullock is the white lady, and Brandon Fraser is the husband.
Right, so Sandra Bullock and Brandon Fraser. You know, I don't really be knowing these white actresses like that.
What you mean Sandra Bullock like that, though?
I don't really be knowing their name. So she was walking with her husband, and so she saw Ludacris and Lorenz Tate.
Hey, Andre.
So she squeezed her husband a little closer, and Ludacris noticed it, and he was like, "Now look," he was like, "Now look at this." You know what I'm saying? And she was walking near, closer to them, and then she switched sides and then got on the opposite side. Well, so now her husband's walking closer to them. And so Ludacris pointed out, and he was like, "Now look at this. She's afraid, you know what I mean, that we're going to rob them, and this, that, and the third." And he got upset. He was like, "Now I wasn't even intending on doing anything crazy. Now I'm going to do something crazy," you know what I'm saying? Now, now I'm going to give you the energy that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Just because of the simple fact that you did that, and they turn around and they robbed them. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's like we don't have intentions on bothering nobody.
Bro, I'm happy as fuck, bro. I got money in my pocket. My life good.
I'm saying, bro, and you know what? I really noticed it. It's like, I was living in Asheville, North Carolina. Oh, I was out there for military purposes. And Asheville is like a super hippie town or whatever. They're not, you know what I mean? But the respect that I would get in uniform, they're not really used to seeing people in uniform. It's different when you're in a military town with a military base. But this here was unique because we were the only people between us and recruiters were the only people who were in uniform. So the respect that I would get in a uniform, night and day, compared to the respect that you're gonna give me when I'm not in uniform, bro. Like, don't give me anything extra if you were in at least open the door for me as I'm walking through just because I'm in uniform, bro.
Right.
Like, that bothers me because you're not showing your true character. You're respecting my uniform more than you respect me, and that's a problem because I'm a whole man. I got a life. I got a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, respect me as a man. Like, before you be like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate you so much, man. You know what you're doing for the country is just amazing. Because I could be doing other stuff for the country. You know what I'm saying? But you have no idea. But it's just like, you have no idea who I am as a person. So don't try to you know, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Bro. If you wouldn't think two shits of me if I didn't have the uniform on, bro. So don't do that.
Right.
But yeah, man. Sometimes I think, you know, pilgrims be a trip.
Yeah. Sad situation, bro. Super sad situation.
Yeah, but watch that movie though, Jack.
You said, what was it again? Name of it again?
Crash.
It's called Crash.
I'm gonna check it out too.
What year that came out at?
Like 2005, 2006.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
okay. You know, it's crazy. Like, yeah, Andre, we talking about just how the black man experience, pretty much. Just expanding upon, you know, the things that happen to black men, unarmed black men in the daily life, and just talking about our experiences and all that. But this is one time when Kayla had posted a picture or a video. I don't remember if it was a Snapchat or Instagram, but old white man riding around with his Confederate flag. I think he was on like a little bug, a scooter or something like that, right? Mind you, not even like 20, 30 minutes before that, I had been running outside. And I think that's what fueled it. And just to think that someone would want to do that just to try to strike fear, like this is just, it just blows my mind that you can hate somebody for just their skin alone.
yeah.
Like, what have I necessarily, you cannot sit here and be of age. I feel like maybe you could be a child, you could be mad at the world or something. I feel like that's something so childish to think. And the fact that you want to use that to try to scare, and honestly, I went outside looking for him because, for one, at the time, that was we and her were, you know, involved at the time, and I just, you know, she felt unsafe, and I was like, I had to just go out there, you know, just to see what the scene looking like, because I don't really fuck with that.
Just check the post.
I don't think it's a childish mentality. I think it's a mental issue. Me personally, I don't think it's a childish mentality, because a child has to be taught to be racist.
Right.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But for you to have in your head that you simply don't like this person, that you have no idea who they are because of because of who they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because of the color of their skin. It's a mental issue. Now, and the thing is, hatred creates hatred. You know what I'm saying? So now, as you created that hate for us, how do you expect somebody
besides reciprocation
to reciprocate it? You know what I mean? To not reciprocate it. Like, you have a hatred for me, you know what I mean, because of the color of my skin. And how do you not expect somebody to be like, well, now I hate you? And to be honest, it's like us hating them doesn't even equivalate. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the law ain't on our side. So the things that we can do, we can't just shoot a white man who run in our neighborhood and say that and claim that we feel unsafe.
Not if you want your life, you won't.
Not if you, bruh.
Right.
Regardless if there's a video or not. The fact that you know that I did it, I'm gone. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's asinine to me, man, that people don't even see that is not equivalent. It's not, we're not on the same playing field, brother. Like, that food good? That food good, Trey?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Trey, is good, Trey?
Bro, what you worry about me for, bro?
I'm just asking, brother. Just asking, brother. I'm just a little hungry, that's all.
One piece, bro?
A little brownie.
No thanks.
But no, man, we not on the same playing field, man. And it's just like, how can you
Bro,
think that we are?
I can't wrap my head around. I can't fathom what it takes to walk around bearing that kind of negative energy, bro. You know, bro, that would physically bog me down, bro, to walk around with that kind of hate and that kind of negativity in me, bro. That would make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Physically sicken me, bro. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yo, I was just looking at a map not a map. I was looking at a timeline the other day. Since the beginning of slavery to the freedom of slaves, to the 89 years of segregation, to the 51 years of so-called, you know what I mean, being segregated. And, you know, white people just being like, expecting us to just be over it. And it baffles me because, like, bruh, there are still people who are living to this day who is creating that hatred still to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? You see a MAGA man. You see a man with his MAGA hat on, got his gun on his hip. You know what I'm saying? I see it when I'm working. That's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like that MAGA hat is your way to express how you really feel about society. You know what I'm saying?
That's over with that dude that had like 2 MAGA hats on his front, like windshield area.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to ask. I really wanted to sit there. Huh?
He had a truck.
Of course he did. I said I really wanted to start asking him questions like.
I wanted to too, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, what does that mean to you? But I ain't want to be at his mercy for one.
Yeah, I'm at work. He made sure he had his gun. He had his gun right on his hip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, buddy, I see you, buddy. Man, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you know, I don't even want to speak. I don't even want to say the wrong thing. I don't even want to say the wrong thing. And the next thing you know, I was afraid for my life. That's the number one line that white people can get away with. And what are you afraid of, bro? I don't have a gun. Like, are you are you afraid that I'm gonna put the paws on you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you afraid of? You afraid for your life? Like, that's all you gotta say. I was afraid for my life.
And you know, and I started looking at myself too when I started thinking of like, you know, just not being in that kind of situation. Like, even like the point where we was out in the club and old boy said, "I don't want to fight you, bro." Like, just like that. I'm like, maybe it's something in my demeanor, how I was looking, that it looked like a certain way. And then that's why I started looking, like, even to where I'm working at now, I just, sometimes when some people look at me, I'm like, what this motherfucker think? Because just the way, you know, just, I can just tell how somebody looks, that it just, something's just off. And it's just like,
Jay said you need a password.
I just want to, he said what?
They said you need a password. I'm sorry to cut you off.
What's the password?
Yeah.
Ain't no password.
It shouldn't be a password.
It's not a password. You just click the email link when you see the email. See. Ain't Jay Combs?
Oh, yeah, he do got a password. I guess. I'll send it to him.
No, I get what you're saying though, Jack. Like, I really do my best to have a smile on my face every day. You know what I'm saying? I got one of, and I got a coworker, you know what I mean, who I work with, and she always is like, bro, like how, like we sit down and we talk about real life stuff, what's going on. You know what I mean? I let her in or whatnot, and she was like, bro, how do you stay so positive like all the time? When I see you, when I talk to you, when I ask you how's your day going, like your initial response is joyous. Like the energy that you're giving is joyous. Like how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Continuously. And I'm just like, it's like you have to, man.
Right.
It's like
yourself to be that way. You have to.
You have to, bro, just because like you cannot let this world steal your joy. Like you can't let this world steal your joy. Even when you're not happy, you can't let the ops know that you aren't happy, because that's the prime opportunity for them to attack you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, and you don't know who the ops is. You don't know who's waiting on your downfall. You don't know who's praying on your downfall. You have no idea, man. So it's just like, to avoid all of that, even if you got to put on a facade, just like continue. I continue to smile. I continue to be happy, bro. Like you know what I mean? I'm breathing. Yeah, if I'm down in one area, I'm not worried about it, because, you know, it's only temporary. I know it's only temporary, bro. I'm going to come out. I'm going to bounce back. This, that, and the third. I know that, man. I know God got me. So it's just like, I gotta continue to smile, man. I gotta continue to smile and continue to push.
Right. I'm the same way. A lot of people like that kind of energy in the first place, like a positive, because, I mean, there's a good amount of people that don't have that kind of mindset, you know, the mindset, and they appreciate this. It's infectious in a way, if you will. So,
agreed. That's one of the better comments too, though, bros. I admire you, got good energy, or I like your personality. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the better compliments to receive too, bro.
Like in my maybe it's a fault of mine. Sometimes I say like, this is normal behavior. I try to normalize it in my response. Like, this is something that should be normal, because we only got us, and the life ain't everlasting.
Thanks.
You got me fucked up. You think I'm finna be down or sad? I'm not. No, don't get me wrong. That's part of life. You'll get sad. That's emotion. Let me not say that.
It's in, you know.
Some people don't have emotions, but you know, whatever.
Man, there you go, robot.
Somebody trying to be funny.
That's a good life skill to have, though, bro. Be able to take an L and bounce right back, bro. Like, something not going your way, man. Don't bask in that shit, man. You waste too much energy, too much time basking in that shit, man.
And then the crazy thing is, it's like, I'm an emotional creature. I'm an emotional being. I wear my heart on my sleeve, bro. Like, so if something is bothering me, like, you know it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good at hiding it. I'm not. So it's just like,
hey, Brandon, you and Andre will be best of friends.
I was gonna say,
I'm an emotional being, bro.
Y'all passionate, huh?
I know all too well.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Because Brandon, what's your PSN name?
Heartbreak Kid.
Nah, Andre. Andre, what's your name?
Heartbreak Dre, man.
You get some heartbreakers, man.
Right.
Hi.
Hey, little man.
What's happening, little man?
Hi.
Hi. What's you doing?
We're talking. My bad, fellas. Little man is
straight.
Leave my side, man. We at my mom's crib right now.
I'm at my mom's crib. Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I got my niece and my nephew downstairs right now. I had to leave him.
Yeah, I've been trying to leave, man. This man right here, he not playing.
Wearing your heart on the sleeve, though, bro, and being passionate, bro. It's a lot of people that do that shit with being crazy. Just because they misconstrue wearing your heart on your sleeve or being passionate. And it's a thin line, bro. It
is.
But it's a difference between the two.
It is, man, and it's like certain things I'm passionate about. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that, and I know how to not let my emotions get the best of me in certain things. Certain times I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard for me to control. Like, my mind will go like one place, and sometimes I let something bother me, and the public don't know it. But in my own head, like I'm killing myself. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the fact that I let my emotions get the best of me. You know, so it's like, dang, what do I do? Am I overthinking it? Do I? So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to talk to people about it because you don't want to seem like that emotional ass nigga that, you know what I'm saying, that But get out your feelings. You know what I'm saying? But
See, but you know what? I think part of that too is public perception of men. We're supposed to be this strong creature that is able to endure all these different things. We're supposed to be able to uplift everybody else, women, our kids, our families. That sometimes, like, people look at us, and if we show any type of emotion or any sort of quote unquote weakness, then it's like, what is he doing that for? As if there's something wrong with it. And it's like, that's just public perception of what we are as men. You know what I mean? And like, that is a misconception, I think, across the board. Like, even just in relationships, man, it's like sometimes men always have to be that rock, right? Then sometimes we may need our woman or whoever to be that rock for us for that day or maybe that week. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, why you being a bitch? Or like, they'll look at you in a way as like, why do you need these things? I'm the one that needs this stuff.
Right.
In reality, we all human beings, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all go through the same exact emotions. Like, there's nothing different. We're all humans. We go through the same exact emotions, black, white, Asian, whatever it is. We go through the same exact emotions. We just have to, like, as men, it seems like we can't be soft.
I don't think a lot of people are ready for that type of conversation, though.
Bro, we here. What you mean? It ain't. What you mean?
That's
here.
Because
you know what, and that's the problem, though. And I'm not trying to cut you off, because I was gonna ask y'all this back when we were talking about like just how white people perceive black men. Like, the only way we have that conversation is if we are open about how we feel about certain things, right? So like, even like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm completely obviously against racism and ethnic bias and all those types of things, but like, I prefer to hear somebody's belief or their perception, that they're like true heartfelt like opinion on it, opposed to them to hide it and treat me differently for it. Like, if I say there's a white dude that legit has an issue with black dudes, right? Whatever, say he's, for some reason, maybe he had an experience within his life or whatever the case may be. If like, I'd rather him be open and honest about it and us be able to have a conversation. Not necessarily that I would sway him one way or the other, but at least like we both know where each other stands. You know what I mean? There's too many people and I'm gonna just say that there's too many like white people I deal with at my job where like they're afraid of black men, but they're not gonna have that conversation with you either because they're afraid to even talk to you. Like, shit, like, stop hiding it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be able to have that conversation with you. So even if you do have something against black men or whatever, black people, like, at least I can respect you as a man because we can have a conversation. You know what I mean? I may not respect where you're coming from. I may not respect your opinion, but I can respect you as a man, that you can have that conversation with me and we can coexist. Because we're not all going to see eye to eye. It's that simple. Like, we're not all going to see eye, but we can have that conversation. Like, you know what? You could be a racist or whatever, but if I come in and you could treat me the exact same way, I know you feel, but we had that conversation. You could be open and honest about it, but we can coexist. That's all I need. That's all I want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't need you to be happy-go-lucky and fake like you love black people or that you're for the cause or whatever. You know what I mean? Or for minorities in general. I don't need nobody to fake that. But if we can have that conversation and I could just respect you man to man, we good. You know what I mean? Like, that at the end of the day.
No, that's big facts. That's big facts. And I feel the same way. It's just like, it's not hard to hide. I mean, it's not easy to hide either if you fuck with somebody that's black or if you fuck with somebody who's not black. As a white person, like, I feel like I can tell by the vibe that you're giving if you really fuck with black people or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's a certain demeanor, it's a certain way you carry, it's a certain way you're going to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know, and me being one of the older people at my job, I work at Lowe's, you know what I mean? It's a lot of young people who work there. So it's just like, you know what I mean? They be saying, oh yeah, man, nigga this, nigga that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, hey, just kind of, you know what I mean, kind of chill out. Even though it's we amongst co-workers, you don't really know who for you and who against you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, just be on your P's and Q's of how you using, like, you know what I mean, when you use a nigga and who around you. Because, you know what I mean, like a lot of these some of these white people who you might not see them, you might not notice them, you know what I mean, because you just around a bunch of, you know what I mean, young black people. You don't notice the white people who are managers, who are, you know what I mean, who got high authority, who may not say anything to you and just go straight to the head. Because white people are really that's the difference between a lot of black people and a lot of white people. I feel like if they got an issue with you, they're not going to say anything to you because they're afraid of confrontation. Right. What they're going to do is they're going to go to, if not your manager, they're going to go to somebody who's above you. And now, you know what I mean? Now the situation is escalated when it didn't even have to be escalated. Like, if you got an issue with something that I'm doing, we can nip it in the bud at the bottom, at the lowest of the totem pole if you just come and talk to me. Now, if you came and talked to me and I did continue to do it, that's different. My bad, Ted. Go ahead, bro.
But the perspectives are different, bro. Snitch culture and snitching, it's a black people thing. White people don't really, you know what I'm saying? They follow the codes that we follow, you know what I'm saying? So, what's a snitch?
Yeah.
They're going to say, in the company handbook, it says, do not condone unethical behavior. Man, they don't care about that snitch.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta, what you saying.
So I always tell people, bro, especially at work, bro, it's a time and place for everything, bro. Legit. Y'all know I can sit up here clown. I got some crazy takes on some crazy shit. Workplace, bro. There's none of that, dog. I'm so professional. And you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to kick it, y'all want to go to lunch, let's get off campus, let's get out the building. Shit, we could shoot the shit. But when we in the work center, bro, I can't trust y'all like that for real. So
Thanks.
Is what it is.
Yeah, I think that goes toward too. Like, you gotta think we're not used to having, like, I mean, I could go from just, you go back to slavery. Like, we're not used to having like the government on our side, or like the governing bodies on our side, and that translates even to work. Like, so even at work, if we have an issue with somebody, yeah, I feel more comfortable going and talking to somebody about it, whoever it is, going and talking to them directly, because I feel like if I go up top, shit, I might get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Or I might really look down on it. They don't feel that way because they're used to having the governing bodies on their side. So why am I going to go talk to him? Fuck that. I'm going to go talk to my manager because I know my manager take care of it, and I don't have to worry about that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, like you said, like the snitch culture, that's something like in our culture. You know what I mean? They don't see it as snitching. It's just like, oh, we just going to go up the chain. That's what we're supposed to do. Right. Like, it's that simple. That's their mentality. That's exactly what it goes exactly what you're saying.
I never really thought about that because if I had an issue with somebody, I gotta go to them directly.
Exactly.
Got you.
I'm like, I got you.
It's like it's like, dude, like if I have a problem with you, I'd rather just talk to you about it. Right. You just handle this right here. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get you fired, or I'm not trying to do whatever. Like, I don't need all that. I just want this situation to be squared away. I want us to be able to talk about it, and then we can dead it right here. You know what I mean? But we don't have, like I said, normally we don't have the governing bodies on our side, so we're not thinking to go up top or nothing like that. Son, give me my phone, man, please.
Mommy.
Thank you, man.
Mommy,
bro, what's on your mind, bro?
What's up?
What's on your mind? Trey, quiet, bro.
Man, I'm listening, man. I'm taking it in, dog. You know, like I agree with everything y'all saying, to be honest. But it's like everything is just based off like the past. Like everything comes to fruition, right? So when you think about slavery and you think about the governing body, like Andre said, like it's still here. It's never gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of them being blunt, they start looking at different avenues where they can keep destroying our minds, you know what I'm saying, our spirituality and shit like that. So when you think about, okay, I got this job, right? I got this job. I'm feeling like I'm starting to be a part of the culture, but you're really not. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never be able to be in that world. Like I'm not gonna say they're allowing us because don't nobody allow me to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But God, but at the end of the day, like if we're talking about just the man, right? They allow us to get these jobs or certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Just like back in the day, like when you had that Samuel L. Jackson type slave, right? the little snitch. You know what I'm saying? The person, you know what I'm saying? That person who they allowed to get in the house because he would do this towards a black person. He would do that towards a black person. You know what I'm saying? Like they allow him to be in that. But at the end of the day, they'll kill him just like they'll kill a nigga that's picking cotton. You feel me? Because it's just all based off of what they will allow us to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in my mind, like as I'm listening to y'all, like I just get mad, not just at white people, but at a lot of black people with a fucking what's the word? The abilities to make change, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're talking about the whole black and white thing, but when you think about the platforms that black people have, you know what I'm saying? And then you think about how much poverty there is in the United States of the world. We don't need white people to clean that shit up. We don't need white people to come into our neighborhoods, our projects to make that shit better. We don't need that. So when people be begging these white people to help us, to me it's stupid because it's not gonna happen. Or they only gonna give us so much, but we still gonna be poor. But like what they gonna do? Like mentally try to help us be whatever? No. You got Jay-Z and all these other motherfuckers who can snap their fingers and change the whole culture of the United States as far as black poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason where it should be ghettos in the United States of America. There's no reason right now. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to D about this shit. I know I went way left, but I don't know. I just had to get this shit out. Like, I get so frustrated, dog, when I think about when I go back home and I go to Centerville, East St. Louis, and I see motherfuckers walking the street begging for change, begging for this, begging for that. And 10 years ago, when I saw this man, he was working at some type of store. Didn't even look like this. You know what I'm saying? But you in a situation to where your business can close at any moment because you're not getting a lot of revenue. You're not getting a lot of business to come to East St. Louis because motherfuckers think that shit is, I go down there, I'm going to get shot. No. You go down there, you do something stupid, you're going to get shot. But if you go down there and mind your fucking business, ain't nothing going to happen to you. But there's no reason why I should go to any city in the United States that's a black city and be scared for my life. No, I should be able to go to any city in the United States and look like a suburban city because I have black people who are able to take that city and make it into something like, make it into something like something great. But I don't know, like people, I don't know. I just don't get it, dog. And I guess shit just frustrating. I do shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. And I know that we have the resources to where we can fix this shit. Now you'll hear, P. Diddy, like when I heard him talking about he ain't gonna vote for fucking Trump unless he fix shit. I mean for Biden unless he like change the outcome or like his mentality towards black people. Why did you, for one, you fucking up the black vote just by saying that shit because you got so much people who follow you and will do whatever the fuck you tell them. So you wait until he's already the Democratic candidate to say this shit. No, this some shit you supposed to say prior to the election. Put some fear in these motherfuckers' heart. If that's what you feel like you need to do to get the black people where you want them to be. But other than that, dog, you and all these people who got the platform need to take care of all the black fucking neighborhoods in the United States.
I think him saying that did because I don't really pay too close attention to all the politics aspect of everything. Mm-hmm. But I did see something where Biden's gonna have basically a black agenda. And I wanna say it necessarily came from the pushback from all the black celebrities per se. Because you get a little fall. I know it kind of sounds like nothing real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing out yet about the whole aspect of what the black agenda is. But
right. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, now let's say he do that. But what does that say about Joe Biden? That I have to force him to do something for the black community? No. If I pick somebody to be a Democrat or independent or Republican, whoever the fuck it is, I need to know this man is really down for what the fuck he's saying. I don't need somebody to force this man to be like, I'm going to take care of the black community. No, because you can say whatever you want, but when you become a president, you don't got to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. You can sell us a dream. You can make us feel like we whatever. Like Barack Obama, for instance, he could have easily been this great person, said all this shit, and then when you became president, he could have went way left. Way left. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I feel like we just rely on these people too fucking much, dog. Too much. We give them so much of ourselves. We give them our culture, the way we dress, our music, all this shit. We give them so much. And we not taking nothing back. We not doing shit for ourselves, dog. And it's crazy. And you got these people who starting these businesses, these black businesses, and you still like, okay, I'll do this for a second, but I'm still gonna go to this white business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand that we as a black culture, dog, we have to do this shit ourselves, dog. Even if we take Spanish people or whatever, like, we got to do this shit ourselves because they not gonna help us. They gonna give us so much. They gonna give us a pole, bro, and they gonna let us walk that fucking line until it gets to a certain part, and they gonna fucking stop it. They gonna stop it, bro. That's why you will never see me watch us. It's gonna sound crazy. I don't watch slavery movies. None of that shit, dog. Because it keeps reminding us of how we were back then, and it just keeps infuriating all this shit that's happening now, dog. If you as a white, if I'm a white man, right, and I want to continue to have a mental prowess over a fucking black man, I will continue to show him how he was, how he would never be, all that shit. So I'm going to continue to show these slavery movies. I'm going to keep making these slavery movies. I'm going to keep making movies like Men of Society to show you that these niggas and shit, all they want to do is just keep killing each other. Dog, no. You don't hardly see movies where you see black people uplifting each other. Like in the 90s, you saw all that shit. Brothers, fucking best men, all that shit. They had their issues, but they was black men, black women who had power, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Wood.
Like The Wood. That's
favorite movie, top 3, and it ain't 3.
And it ain't 3. I don't know, man. My bad, dog. I went way left.
You good? No, I agree, man. I stopped at Django, bro. Like, as far as like movies dealing with like black people in slavery, like only time I really watched Boots is when I wanted to get angry before a football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be real, bro, like it was just like Django. Only reason why I even I consider Django is because, you know what I mean, because of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, you know what I mean? He taking over. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, yeah. Like, I'm fucking with this. Okay, it's still a Tarantino movie. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shooting, a lot of blood, this, that, and the third. But it's different, and it's kind of stopped right there. But any other movies like like Ma and The Help and 12 Years a Slave, like, all that shit, I never watched that shit, and I'm never going to watch that shit. I have no intention on watching that shit ever, just because of the fact, like how you said, it portrays us, and that's not the light that I want to see us in, brother. Like, that's just not it, bro. That's just not it, and I feel like we can do so much more. Didn't like 12 Years a Slave get an Academy Award or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, and it's just like, bro, why?
Right. And I'm not downplaying like what they went through, because at the end of the day, like, they had to go through what they went through just to get us where we are now. I just feel like, let us be where we at now and stop fucking bringing up, like, stop bringing that shit up, dog. Like, cause you ain't gonna do nothing but just keep showing us that we needed white people to get out of slavery, dog. Like Abraham Lincoln, that motherfucker didn't free black people because he was a nice person, dog. That didn't have nothing to do with the Civil War. That was a business, and and they don't teach you that. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach you that. Of course, they're not gonna teach you that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it's just, man, it's just so much shit that I just be thinking about. That shit is fucking me up.
Okay, so I got a question. Like, us as African Americans, where do you feel like is our place on this earth? And the reason why I say that is because I feel like in America we're not welcomed. As the society as a whole. But like, to our brothers and sisters over in Africa, I feel like they're not really open arms to us as well. And you know what I mean, they got a lot of stereotypes and stigmas against us as well as the white people do here. And I feel like where do we as African Americans fit on this earth? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody loves our culture.
They just
nobody
don't
loves us.
Right. And the thing about it, when you go ahead, yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
When you think about when people say these Africans, they don't like Black Americans, right? How you think we got here? How you think Black people got to the fucking United States, dog?
Because they fucked up.
Bro, it's not because we chose to leave Africa, dog, to come to America with white people, dog. That's not how it comes. So how can you say you don't like me? You don't like me as a Black American, and motherfucker, you the reason I'm here. You ain't even, bro. They made
the mistake, bro. They trusted the white man, brother. That's what happened. Now, to be honest, I'm about to go with my Dr. Omar. Hey, I'm about to go with my Dr. Omar, bro. But on me, bro. Like, they trusted. All right, so I don't know. Everybody knows, so I'm kind of going to break it down as far as the the Atlantic slave trade or how it's happened.
Break it down for people in the back, yeah.
White men from Europe traveled to Africa, right? White men from Europe had guns. Enslaved other Africans, but back then slavery was: I capture you in war, you pay your debts, you go. White people was like, oh, well, since you got these slaves, I'll trade you these guns for these slaves. So in order for that to work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, boom. It was like, the mindset, the African mindset wasn't, slavery has never been for hundreds of years until the white man got a hold of us. Never. Slavery has always been, we capture you, we got you, you pay your debts, you free. So, you know what I'm saying? The white man had the Africans to believe that that's what was going to happen. They were going to pay their debts, and they were going to start, you know what I mean, a new world over here. Not 400 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that they trusted the white man that, oh, we were going to start this new world over here, you know what I mean, we were going to spread, you know what I mean, spread the culture, spread the love, this, that, and the third, everything was going to be good. No, the white man had other intentions, had other plans with us. And it was working for so long to keep it going. It wasn't until hundreds of years later, thousands and thousands of black people that have been shipped over here, and it's like it was too late by the time the Africans realized what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So when they kind of headed to hope, because if you really look, like, I don't know, man. It's just it was fucked up. They fucked up, man. They fucked up big, and they just trusted a lot of these white people, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, like life, like my life, you know what I mean? I'm appreciative, and there's no telling what it would have been if none of this had ever happened. There's no telling that where we would be, any of us. We wouldn't be here right now, you know what I'm saying? Right. But it's just like, yeah, man, they fucked up, bro. Like, it was just, you can't say it's a simple mistake, but it's like, that's a big mistake. Thinking that the slavery was just gonna be just for a little while, and you do your bid, you do your bid and you go. Like, nah, bro. These niggas had plans. We had plans. They had plans for them, their kids, their kids, bro. Like, and it was so grimy with it, dog. And the minute that you had a family, they will take you from your family, bro. Like, yeah, they will take the man from his wife and his kids, and force him to go to another slavery plantation, and then this man turned around, had to go start a whole another family with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I can do this all
bro, I can do this all day, bro, and it just frustrates me, man. And it's just like we are not welcome anywhere, man.
Brother, that's just the crazy thing about black people, right? Like you said, we're not welcome nowhere. But the way we are is welcome everywhere, dog. You can't go to not one fucking country, dog, and you don't see somebody trying to be like us, just like us, talk like us, dance like us, all that shit, dog. Like
our culture is welcome everywhere.
Yeah, and it's crazy that most black people we don't really understand the impact that we have on everybody, dog. We don't, and it's crazy, dog. Like when you just think about where we came from, about we didn't have nothing when we came over here, and for us to start as slaves and have a bigger impact on the world than anybody else, is crazy, dog. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like, to be honest, like we be having like our artists be having world tours, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many foreign superstars like really come over here like that? Like come over here and have a tour over here. You know what I'm saying? Like a handful, but not like how we like. If you once you make it big over here, the world know about you, bro. And you can't say that for a lot of these other countries. You can't say that. You can make it big in Spain. I have no idea who you are. No clue. No clue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and it's just crazy how big of an impact that we have. Like I said, man, like bro, we are not welcome anywhere, but like, our culture is loved everywhere. And it's.
Bro, I be looking at Rihanna shit, dog, and she is the second richest person in like England or some shit like that, as far as like artists, like selling artists, bro. She ain't even from over there. That's how much of an impact. Like more money than Elton John, dog. More money than all these people, bro. Like people who are from that, dog. And it's just crazy how much of an impact she has just by going on, just by her the way she is, the music she sells. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But to answer your question, which you said, where will we be welcome?
Where are we welcome, man?
I don't know. I don't know, dog.
What's crazy
because it's crazy because we as black people, we can go anywhere in the world and take it over, bro. We can walk into any room and you get the black person with that confidence, with that swagger, bro, and we'll take that bitch over. I don't give a fuck who in that room. That's just how much impact that we have when we go wherever. It's crazy. We say, Tim?
Go ahead, Dre. You want to say something?
Dre, my bad.
No, you good. I was gonna say, I'm not. I know we've hit a lot of different topics, but
we just did.
A lot of people. Yeah, we sure did. So I'm gonna just say this. So just from my personal experience. So back in 2016, when Trump got elected, right? I was in Australia at the time, and we find out it's like 16 hours ahead over there, whatever. We find out that he gets elected, and all the Australians are looking at. I was on tour with had like four of my teammates. We was on tour out there playing ball, and they knew we were American. And they looked at us we was on a bus, and it was like, "How'd y'all let this happen?" Like, I was like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie, I voted, but I didn't vote for him." You know what I mean? It was just how our country set up.
Right.
And and I was like, it made me realize like every other country literally watches what goes on in America, right? So then the following year I was in Spain, and like out there, even in Spain, they don't know shit about African Americans or slavery. They don't know shit about that. But because of what they hear from America, how like black people are portrayed or treated in America, or there's still those ethnic biases there, in other countries, they feel as if they can treat us that way because the country that we're from treats us that way or views us that way. So like I'll go to Spain, obviously in Spanish, like black is negro, right? Like Negro is black in Spanish, but they'll legit call you Negro. Like they'll call you Negro. They won't call you by your name. They're gonna call you Negro, like the entire time. So it was an adjustment over there, but like they'll treat you differently as well. I'm like, nigga, you Spanish.
Right.
Like you're not even like a white American. Now, granted, we came from Europeans or whatever. White people came from European, whatever. But like, you don't even know shit about me, but you feel like you can treat me a certain way because of what you hear or see happens in our country. So how can they respect us if we don't support, like, really get the respect that we, I guess, deserve over here? You know what I mean? So it's like when you say, where are we welcome? Like, that's a very tough question. Like, I don't even know if there's an answer. Like, there's not like a pinpoint answer to that. The only thing that we can do is continue to have any interaction that we have with somebody else has to be positive, right? So it's like I'm only, and my dad's black and my mom's Puerto Rican, so I've seen it from both sides. Like I'm biracial or whatever. So like if I have an interaction with somebody and they just see me as a black man or whatever the case may be, it has to be the best interaction with them to change their perception of what they think black guys are like or whatever the case may be, right? And it's like that's almost like all we can really do. Like my man was saying, like we could take over any country or whatever. We walk into a room, the right dude with the right swagger, the right confidence, that's intelligent, that's knowledgeable, all of that can take over a room anywhere, because like anywhere we go, we stand out, unless we're amongst us. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, when we're just a bunch of us, like we're just like, oh yeah, that's my nigga. You know what I mean? Like that's my homie. Like whatever the case may be, it's not like we stand out that way. But anywhere else we go, like the only thing we can do to be able to be, I guess, welcome anywhere, is to constantly have those positive interactions with anybody we have come in contact with. And it's crazy because like it's different. Like if I'm pissed off one day and some random dude runs into me and I don't treat him a certain way, maybe like I'm just like, man, yeah, whatever. Or I might be disrespectful, or I might be dismissive, not because I dislike him, just because I'm having a bad day. Now, oh, black dudes are rude. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily the case, but like that's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? That's the reality that we're still living in. And granted, and I'm not taking for granted anything that we've accomplished as a community in general. Yes, things are better than what they were years ago. I'm not dismissing that. But the fact that we still even have to have these conversations shows that we still have so much further to go. You know what I mean? And like, it's just at the end of the day, man, like, I hate to say it like this, but I don't want to say that. No, that's fucked up. But people don't want to release that power. They don't want to release that power. Like, you got to think, like Brandon, what you were saying, like, about, like, and I had a conversation with one of my professors in college about this, about how, like, she was like, slavery, you know, stemmed from going on in Africa, blah, blah. And I was like, actually, I said the same exact thing you said. And my professor and I got into it. We had a discussion after class, because I was explaining to her that, like, slavery was not, oh, I'm going to enslave you, you're going to work for me for your life because you're black. No, it was, we're in war. You are my prisoner. You pay your debt just like you go to jail, pay your debt to society, and then I let you free. I'm not holding you hostage because you're black. I'm not holding you hostage because you're white. I'm just holding you. You need to pay your debt, and then you out. Black, white, purple, whatever. That was how it originated. And then that was a system that white people felt like they could use over here. But since it was a new country, completely different, their rules they're just established in this country. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing, like, think about it, like they've really been enslaving motherfuckers before they got to us, because they came over here. We had Native Americans here, and they said, "No, fuck y'all. This ain't y'all land. It's our land." You know what I mean? They've been doing that for an extended period of time. So it's like, I think when I run into like white people that are educated on this and like actually say, like, I can see that they don't have that hatred in their heart because they understand. You know what I mean? Now it's very few, don't get me wrong, it's very few, but like, I mean, shit, that impresses me when I've seen like 4 white dudes like that. They sat and had a conversation like we're having, talking about their side of it and how they understand the wrongdoings of their ancestors. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I respect that you can actually look and see, you know, that whoever, great, whoever granddaddy was like this, you know what I mean? So Yeah, my bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt. My fault.
That's a fruitful conversation to have, bro. I would love
Nah,
to
you.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's never had it. I've never had it.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
from
I feel
deep South Louisiana, and man, people are just as racist as they were. You know what I'm saying? 100 years ago. So I would love to have a conversation with that one day.
I got a question. So understanding what we as Black people have been through over the years, and understanding that people will get it misconstrued that the white man gave us Christianity, and that's not true. They actually didn't want to give us Christianity because to them at the time you couldn't enslave a Christian. You know what I mean? At the time, but what they started doing was taking quotes out of the Bible, manipulating it. So, you know what I mean? So the slaves who couldn't read, you know what I mean, as they're quoting the Bible, or the Bible says, I can't think of the scripture. So there's a scripture saying that, you know, as if you're a slave, you know what I mean, you must do as what your slave owner says, and it stops right there. But what they don't continue reading is that later on in the scripture that says your slave owner, you're supposed to do for your slave. You're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be for them, as if, you know, just like a supervisor. As a supervisor, you work for your employee. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's kind of something like that. But like I said before, you know, slavery has happened beforehand, but you know what I mean, the uneducated be like, oh, well, the Bible speaks on us being slaves, this, that, and the third. So, you know what I mean, how can you read the Bible? How can you believe in the Bible and stuff like that? But I'm just like, you kind of got to have it's deeper than the surface, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like when you put religion into it, it's like, at one end, it's kind of like some people are like, oh man, if God was really for y'all, then where was he at in the last 400 years? And then the other end, some people are like, well, you know, God has kind of helped us, you know what I mean? Having a religion base has kind of helped us get through it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, how do y'all feel about slavery? And I don't know if everybody is here. I don't know everybody's religious preference or whatnot. But I mean, as far as the white man giving us Christianity or something like that.
So I'm not going to touch on specifically white man giving us Christianity, but I will touch on something that you just said about how people say, because I've heard this before, it's like people say, well, if there was really a God, or if God was really whatever, he wouldn't have allowed y'all to go through X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yo, no, you're misunderstanding. I'm not the most religious man, but I do study scripture. And like what people misunderstand is, if our world was perfect, there'd be no need for a heaven. If our world was perfect, there'll be no need for a God, right? Because our world will be perfect. Our world will be what heaven is supposed to be. So right. Why will we need to study scripture? Why will we need to believe in religion or believe in God?
You lost him? See, look at the devil. The devil busy right now, boy. I try to tell you.
Yeah, we lost.
Timed out or something like that. Damn.
See, that's the devil working right there, brother.
I was side note. So I was talking to
Really just saying it.
Who it was, and I was saying that.
My bad, Dre. You had timed out, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. Oh no, I don't know where I left off at.
I think you was saying if our world was so perfect, we wouldn't need a God. We wouldn't need to believe in God. We wouldn't need a heaven.
We wouldn't. If our world was basically if our world was perfect, there'd be no need for a God. There'd be no reason for us to have to believe in the Lord above, because we don't need to go to heaven. We don't care about going to heaven because it's already here. We're living in
heaven on earth.
We're living in a sinner's world, so we have to have a God to believe in. We have to believe that there's something greater out there. You know what I mean? Regardless of what your religion is, and like that's what people don't get twisted. Is like God, He speaks to all of us in different ways, and because we're living in a sinner's world, and we all go through similar things, and we all go. Everybody goes through different things. Everybody goes through like the same issues in different ways, but He talks to us differently because we are living in an imperfect world. So you can't tell me like, oh, God's not here for you because slavery took place, or God's not here. If God was here for you, this wouldn't happen. No, that's not true. That's the reason I need God. You know what I mean? To help us through those times. So like, there's like that argument that, you know, you hear from different people, or I've heard from people, like that shit is like so invalid. Like, dude, like if everything was perfect, like then yes, we wouldn't need God. But because shit isn't, you know what I'm saying? I just sin by cussing right there. That's exactly why that's why I need God. I gotta pray tonight. Lord, please make me what's today? You know what I mean? Like that's why. It's because our world is imperfect. You know what I mean? So they, you know, people miss me with that bullshit. Now, like I said, I'm not the most religious man. I study scripture to understand like our history, and I've become as I've gotten older, like, and I got 2 kids, like it's very important for me to indulge myself in that religion, you know what I mean? Because like I want my kids to be raised in the church. I want my kids to understand scripture. I want them to believe in God. So like as I've gotten older and realized how much I needed Him, and yet I've, you know, become a little more religious. My relationship is growing with Him. I'm no, you know, pastor by any means, but like I do understand the importance of it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like there's got to be something. You all right, son? My bad. I don't know why. My bad. But yeah, that's all I got, man. My fault. I apologize. Yeah, you all right, son?
No, you good.
And Jack taking a long walk.
Boy. But no, I agree, man. I agree as far as what Dre said, man. Like everything happened. I mean, I always live everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And as a man who do believe in God and believe in Jesus and that He died on the cross for our sins, like I believe that even though it sucked as far as slavery, but like he said, like if we didn't go through nothing bad, like why would we believe why would we need heaven? Like if everything worked out great for us, why would we need to believe in God? Why would we even need to believe in God? You know what I'm saying? Like we have to go through certain things, Lord, to keep that faith and keep that, you know what I'm saying, keep that willingness to understand that, like, through this, I'm going to get stronger. My faith will get stronger. My spirituality will get stronger. You know what I'm saying? My religion, if you're religious, stuff like that, will get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the most religious person myself. You know what I'm saying? And I would say I'm more spiritual than I am religious. But I definitely agree with what Dre said. Like, you have to go through certain things in certain situations just to keep that faith, man. Because if I go through life and everything works out, I 100% gold, and like I'm gonna stop believing in God, to be honest. Like I'm not gonna pray to Him, and I'm not gonna have faith. Like in my mind, I'm like, for what? Everything going good. I don't need to do nothing but keep doing what I'm doing, because in my mindset, I'm gonna be like, this is me doing it. This ain't God. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And that's what He do, man. To be honest, and boy, you're gonna turn in the Bible study. Hey, He bring you
and come out of that shit. And I was like, bro, there's no way I could have did this myself. Bro.
He do that to you, bro. He snap you back to reality. He do that to me all the time, bro. The minute I start feeling like I'm Superman, I was like, bro, what? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I got an S on my chest. Hold on, bro. What you say? You might not have said it, but I know you started. Here you go.
Yeah.
Back to reality. Let's go. I be down, boy. I be down. Hey, but that's how it be, man. Like, to be honest, like his timing don't be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It be right on time, man. And I be needing that slap back to reality, like for me to, all right, look, I know I can't do this without you. You know what I mean? Even if I begin to get ahead of myself, even if I begin to get the confidence to think that I can do it without you, you know what I'm saying? You come back and you gotta realize that I can't, you know? So it's just like.
Yeah. And the thing about it is crazy because he don't even want much for us, dog. You know what I'm saying? He only want us to have faith of a mustard seed, bro. Y'all seen the size of a mustard seed, dog. That's like damn near a little baby pebble. And he can change the whole outcome of how we live our life. Like he that strong, dog. And sometimes you feel like it's hard to just keep believing in something that you can't see. Because growing up, I was a man of vision. Like if I don't see it, how can I believe it? You know what I'm saying? But when you go through certain shit, like when you in a car, you know what I'm saying? And you and your niggas doing a drive-by, you get shot at. Everybody in the car gets shot but you. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that you go through, you start understanding like it gotta be somebody up there that protect me. That's really, really looking over me, dog, because there's no way that this shouldn't have happened or that shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? So man, you gotta have that faith, dog. You got to.
No. Gotta have faith. I heard the last
Oh
one,
my
though.
God, what up, Jack? That's a long walk.
Welcome back.
The stove?
Damn, that boy walked to LA, ain't it? Golly.
Ashley, you want to come over here and meet everybody?
I hope you got some food or something with you, cause dang, bro, you was gone for at least 45 minutes.
He's
I
gonna
wasn't
go
even
long
gone that long.
Nah,
Bro,
you gonna go a long time, bro.
I thought the Zoom call was about to close out.
See, look, we had to go on a little walk and talk with the dogs. That's all. A little bit of family time.
Oh, okay. I ain't know. So Ashley, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. I thought you went by yourself. I'm like, that's a long motherfucking time.
Nah.
Hello, Astria. How are you doing?
How you doing, Astria?
You're not gonna come back and say hi to the gang?
It's a long story.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Oh, you pissed off? Okay. That's
yeah,
good.
Jack. You know Jack.
Me?
You know Jack always bucking up.
Me?
Always.
Of all
Dang,
people?
Jack.
No.
Yeah.
So somehow we transition from Christianity, spirituality, and we just talked about the importance of faith, bro, and understanding that something is in the universe, is
Cause I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I'm probably only gonna say this shit one time, but so soak this in. What I'm about to say, like honestly, dog, I feel like God put you motherfuckers in my life for a reason. Cause there be times I'll be at work. Shut up. There be times I'll be at work, dog, and I'll be ready to kill a motherfucker. But I get on the game or something, and you niggas like, I'll do something crazy, make me laugh, whatever, and that just changed my whole mindset.
Tell
you
me
know
you
what I'm
love
saying?
me. Tell me you love me.
I'm not gonna do that. But
Boy, dang, we thought we had something.
I'm not gonna do
You can't
that.
ask for it, Ted.
I'm
You just gotta come out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, God really put y'all in my life for a reason, dog. Cause especially since I've been in Baton Rouge.
Hey
So,
man,
I'm gonna say that
right now. Luke G. Shaw. Hey. Luke Lamborghini.
Where you get the artifact from?
This my brother shit, dog. I just picked over here, bro. I said this man got that Marco Polo. Marco Polo.
Hey, bro, hold up, bro. Oh shoot, that song was so
Bro.
So what other content did you have, Jack?
Also, what I want to do a little serious part, which that's been fulfilled, and then I want to open up about myself and just maybe we could just talk about some crazy ass stories, right? And so, what I wanted to talk about, all right? Remember at the beginning of the podcast, I basically said this is a safe place, so I'm gonna just open up, all right?
Hold on. This is a podcast. Like this is being recorded right now.
Yeah, it's being recorded. Yes.
Oh my God.
You thought we just gonna be on Zoom and not record it?
I had no clue. Oh, it does say recording. Damn.
So this is what I'm gonna go with, all right?
Hey man, at least you ain't say nothing outlandish though, Dre.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I was about to say some crazy stuff. I gotta, gotta keep going. You go.
This a safe space, brother.
Yeah.
Bro, I appreciate that.
I can always edit it later on. But so I'm gonna tell y'all a story I haven't necessarily told anyone,
Ooh.
So it's gonna be like.
Hold on, wait. Do you sure you want to tell Tev this story?
Yeah, I don't mind telling anybody.
Yeah, but you like
Hey, Kev over there. I'm gonna record on top of the recording. What you talking about?
Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna be out there, Ted really the paparazzi, bro.
Fact.
But this is
good
I don't think I told you about this, but so this is right before I got out. Maybe because I got out in July. It was probably maybe around the December time frame, right?
Wait, do I know about this?
I'm not talking about that issue.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, I know what that issue is. But
yeah.
As far as what happened here, all right. So this is back when I got a bidet. Remember the bidet I was speaking about at one point in time?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. But go ahead.
I had got a bidet.
Had a bidet. Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, I got a bidet, right? And it's a whole new world, by the way. When we get a new place, I'm gonna get a new bidet. By the way, it cleans immaculately, and I'm not even sponsored by them, but I'm just them shits is gold. I swear to goodness, I mean that. But so I don't remember what the time frame that I got it, right? But I got it, been loving it, and then one day I'm going to wipe one day, right? I think it's while I'm at work. And I'm using tissue at work because I ran out of wipes.
Great.
This whole story gonna come together once I actually spill out. Maybe I wipe a little too aggressive and whatnot, right? I noticed some blood, right? And I started thinking to myself like, wow, tissue is rough as fuck. I can't use tissue on my butt no more. All right? But here comes the non-funny part about it, right? Maybe like a couple months later or so, it's probably like February, March, maybe or something like that. Not even that. Probably even later than that. I'll take a dump, and the whole toilet is bloody.
Wow.
What the
So when I first saw that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I think I should be woozy right now because of the amount of blood that I saw in the toilet.
Time out. Can I wait. So you telling me from the time you got out in July, that one time you wiped too hard and you started bleeding. Fast forward to March. Between that time, you never had an instance where you shit and it bleed? It was bleeding?
It was spotting every now and then, yeah.
Okay. You gotta tell us that part, bro. Cause it sounded like you just wiped too hard. You got like a cut in your ass, and the next thing you know, your guts come out. That threw us off.
No. See, like for the longest period of time, I'm just thinking it was just. I don't know what necessarily it was. Till this day, I don't know. Till this day, I still don't know.
Did you go to the doctor?
No, I did.
And
So the day it did happen is probably like late at night, or I don't remember what time frame of day that this shit happened. And I was like, okay, I need to go to the doctor because this is natural. You're bleeding out your asshole, or it was a fucking lot. A lot.
Did you at least Google it? Like,
huh?
Let him keep going.
Google can tell you.
Yeah, let him finish. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, I need to hear this whole thing. Keep going.
And so I make the appointment with my PCM and whatnot. I knew from the jump it wasn't gonna be the greatest experience, but I knew that when I was gonna go into, it took I had to get like the next day or something like that. I called it during lunch when nobody was there because I was a little embarrassed. I ain't gonna lie, I was embarrassed that my asshole was bleeding. Right? So I go call on lunch, be all quiet, I'm trying to get an appointment for my bunghole, and I get the appointment. I got it the next day. I'm like, my shit is bleeding. Like, ain't no next week, none of that bullshit. Like,
you said it just like that?
I ain't say like that, but I told him that I need this tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So he made it happen. And, you know, I was going to go up there, have a pristine butthole from the look at, examine, all that, right? So I go up there, right?
What, you have bidet first? You have bidet it first?
Huh?
You bidet it first? That's what you're saying? So you can have a...
No, like I just did, like, the best cleanup job I could possibly do while taking a long, super long ass shower. Made sure everything was clean. Make sure I didn't have no kind of accident while I went there.
So I'm sorry to cut y'all off, and I'm super late. But there's the little butt spray on the toilet.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Yeah.
Hey yo, Chill, thank you, bro. Because I was gonna ask y'all that,
No,
but I felt
ask the
like I was the
question.
only one that didn't know. So I was like, let me just go ahead and finish the story. Maybe I use context clues.
Hey, this nigga, he was gonna Google that shit later. Bidet.
I couldn't go
Bro, I for real was gonna Google it. I was just like, how do you spell that? Bidet. Like what? Like, all right, bro, my bad. Keep going. Thank you. Hey, thank you,
And
bro.
so, one of the girls on the basketball team first came to see me. You know how they do the check your height, weight, all that kind of stuff. You know, ask you questions about your whole situation. I wasn't the least bit, you know, uncomfortable about the situation. But
I know the chick that work at medical.
Yeah, and so we you know, I get done talking to her and whatnot, and then the actual doctor comes in, right? I'm ready to pull down my pants and show her or tell her, like, it has to be, I don't want to say a hernia or something like that. It had to
like,
be something.
Doc, look, Doc.
Yeah, like it had, like I could never look, because I've been trying to look myself, like look in the mirror, spread my cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Look, because like legit, this shit was bad, and this shit hurt too. Matter of fact, like it was like it felt raw.
I'm sure.
And so I'm like, it has to be some kind of bunion or something back there. I don't know what it is.
Bunion on the booty.
So I go there. The doctor's in there. She pretty much asked me the same thing, like, what's my, you know, what's going on, what do I feel, and whatnot. And the only thing she fucking did was prescribe me something I put up my butt, something I spray on my butt, and some cream I put on my butt. I'm like, you're not even gonna look at it? I said, you know what, this is the exact place I knew that would do this type of shit.
So
that's what's wrong with
now that you're in California, what I would suggest, even if it hasn't happened again, I would still get an opinion from a medical person up there, because you never know what might happen, and it could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you can get a second opinion, bro. Like, just like it might be something serious, regardless of it's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anything's funny dealing with your booty,
Yeah.
but it might be something serious, bro, and it might could happen again. So me personally, what I would do, I know black people don't like the doctors and shit like that.
Yeah.
We avoid it as much as possible, just because they treat us like how you experience like shit. So I would try.
She was black, by the way, too, which was.
Yeah,
that's probably why she didn't look.
All you know what I mean, all skin ain't fair skin, whatever, however you say shit. So.
Well,
So I mean, but yeah, bro, I would.
Kinfolk.
Yeah, all skin folk and kinfolk. What he said, yeah. But most definitely, bro, I would definitely go see a doctor about it. Go see somebody about it. Just because you're in a whole different environment, it's not medical doctors. I mean, it's not military medical. It's somebody who actually does this and probably loves their job type shit. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, it's California, like the vibes may be a little bit different. Anything else? So I'll go get it checked out again, bro. Like, just let them know what you've experienced and let them know what your fears are. Because, I mean, I'm sure you would hate for that to happen again in a very inopportune time. You possibly playing basketball or you at work and now you got a bloody booty, you know what I'm saying? And now you kind of embarrassed, you know? So, like, I would definitely go see somebody about that. Like a real doctor, not the military folk, bro.
Hold up, Devin. So let me ask you this. So you're telling me that they never like that was it. Like that was so they didn't look. They didn't do anything
at all. They didn't do anything. Like it was kind of bad as far as like my timing because I went there probably at the beginning of like July, and I was getting out. I didn't know at the time at the end of July. So I was like, maybe it was like 2 weeks before I got out. And, and it basically said come back if you bleed excessively again. And I didn't have that issue again, but for a long period of time, like I was still spotting and whatnot. So I was like, you know what, let me try actually using the butt cream, and you have to stick a pill up your asshole. So I call it like a little torpedo. And
you a fucking troll, bro.
Yeah. And then I feel like I was just doing nothing because I feel like maybe it wasn't for me because I was putting it up there and it dissolves, but
of course.
Yeah, it didn't do much, and then the cream didn't do anything. And then when I stopped doing it at all, unless I stopped doing it, then it just went away. So that's me being vulnerable, opening myself up, literally opening myself up.
Wait a motherfucking minute. When was the last time you had an episode?
This was only like up to August, maybe September.
So August the last time, maybe September the last time you seen some blood come out your ass.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah, so that's me opening up,
Like this whole time, I'm thinking, how hard was you wiping your ass?
I don't think
I don't know what come out that shit, bro.
I don't think it might have. I don't know what it could have possibly have done. That's my guess. That maybe that was the case because I used tissue that time, and I'm not a fan of tissue anymore.
Man, son, chill out, bro.
The stool softener, bro. Something that softens.
So be cool.
Yeah. Where maybe one day I'll open up with you guys and I'll tell y'all some shit that I ain't never told y'all before.
I'd never tell you niggas nothing like that ever.
You said what, Ted?
I'll never tell you anything like that.
Why? It's a safe place.
It makes me queasy. Blood coming out of your butt or, vagina or any genital area.
It took me back to
what you do for your wife? What you do for your wife, bro, when she going through her menstrual cycle, bro? What you do for her?
I love
her. Hey, hold on. I do got a question for all of y'all, though. Have y'all ever hit while, like, it was that time of the month?
Hey, look. Let me just say this real quick.
Be honest.
We had this conversation.
I don't care.
We had this conversation like 2 months ago. Not even 2 months.
Yeah, like a couple weeks.
And, basically, a couple of us.
I'm running that red light.
Only down, periods don't stop nothing but a sentence.
Hey, I'm saying, brother, I might run that red light. I'm going to be honest with you.
Look, Ty, look. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no, dog.
I might run the red light, brother.
Nah.
I can't even lie to y'all. I did.
You say you did?
Huh?
Look, before. No.
Ah!
I don't want to sound too crazy, but I've done it numerous times.
Numerous times. Yeah.
Numerous means like it's like that's a thing. Like
like you don't get like it's just like
I don't do it all the time. But most
numerous is like if we legit together, it's like okay, it don't matter. Like you my girl, I don't care if you bleed anyway, it's still the same. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you say numerous, right?
Yeah, something like that. It to be honest, it's like it depends on like how bad I want that shit. at the
I
moment.
need it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if we in like a distance relationship and we don't see each other that often, and I get there and you on your time of the month.
See, this is what
I don't see no red light, brother.
See, in my mind, I'm gonna understand, especially in a distant relationship. I'm gonna understand that cycle, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to. Yeah.
When I come visit her, I know I'm coming to visit her when she ain't on that cycle, bro.
It's like, hey, babe, I was gonna come down on the 15th. Nah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna be there at the end of the month. Then I'll be there on the 30th.
No.
Nah, I need that right now.
Hey, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes y'all be like, you trust the app, and the app be wrong.
Nah, I know, dog. The only time that shit changed is when either she started taking like the pills, or she end up being around a female whose cycle is different. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're around somebody, another female, you stay with them, y'all cycle end up like changing. But other than that, it's usually the same.
Synchronizing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And look, whoever does, listen to this part and think that we some nasty ass individuals, just know. I think it's part of life, man.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Don't put this shit out.
Huh?
Don't put this shit out, bro.
What you mean?
You can have everybody research, ass bleeded, bro. Don't do that, bro.
That's fine.
Bro, they looking out for Jay. Everybody looking out for Jay.
I don't mind.
No, you know what? Though? I will say this. I will say this though. From what you told us, like, I think what that should bring attention to is how, like, some doctors don't do their fucking job. Like, I can't be a doctor that went to school for 8 to 12 years, got my residence, all that good shit, and then somebody come in there with some sort of issue, and all I do is prescribe them some sort of medication without checking them. So if anything, like, that should be like, yo, like, all right, like, you a doctor, you getting paid a shit ton of money. I know you ain't at home getting them from your wife because you're always at work, but if you here, you need to do your job. So, like, if somebody comes in with that sort of issue, I feel like they should have done more. Like, I would have been, if I was you, I would have been pissed. Like, dude, like, your son, hold up. Okay, we'll get the remote. But if I go into the doctor's office and I have that type of issue and all they do is prescribe me a cream and some shit that I stick in my ass and whatever they prescribe you, like, I'm going to be pissed. Like, no, because you don't know what's going on. What if it was, like, God forbid, obviously I'm just saying worst case scenario. What if it was some sort of cancer? You know what I mean? Like, because cancers have different ways of showing themselves. So, like, what if that was an early stage and then they missed it because they just, he's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. Like, so, like, and I see that with doctors all the time, like, where they just, like, they don't really, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to say, to me, they're not doing their job. Because as a patient, I'm paying my copay, all that good stuff. You get paid for the visit regardless of how long it takes. So, like, why not come in and actually see if somebody's doing, like, what's wrong with them? You know what I mean? Like, or show some real concern. Like, that gentleman right there would have, hey, y'all, this is Brooklyn. This is my daughter. Say hi,
Brooklyn.
What's up, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
All right, go. You ain't getting no more camera time. You good. So. Yeah, that's Uncle Devin.
That's basically like one of the half the reason why I want to become a physical therapist, because seeing how some of those like just for even just like I was thinking like either do it for like the military or do it for like a sports team or something like that. That's just where my mind was going. But just seeing how I remember there's a couple times where I went in for my back and they're gonna do X, Y, and Z, never did it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna just do my own kind of research and just chill out and not be as active. And I mean that helped out, but it's just that I don't know. Maybe it's the like I hate that. That's what like when Black people have that mindset, like, you know, you good, like we don't need to go to the doctor and all that kind of stuff, and then just seeing things like that where you're not getting the actual care that you need, then it's like, well, fuck it, man. Like, you just get this mindset like not necessarily take care of yourself as you should. And
yeah.
That's just where my mind went. Like, I need to be in a place where I can help others as far as taking care of their bodies and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I feel it, man. For real. I think the generations we're in, like, we starting to understand that we got to start taking care of our bodies, going to the hospital and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like our parents, they got from our grandparents that you don't need to go to the doctor. You can take home remedies and do all this other stuff. Like, nah. You got to think, some people didn't go to the doctor because they couldn't afford it.
mm-hmm.
You know, they ain't had the money. You know what I'm saying? So they tried to figure out ways to take care of themselves when they was at home. That's why you got all these little remedies and stuff like that. But, you know, work with what you got.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. But
Mm-hmm.
that boy bleeding out. That's crazy, bro. I didn't think he was going to come with that, though. I thought he was going to say something else. Like, you went way crazy with that one, brother. Like,
Yeah, you went way left, brother.
I know one day, I don't know, just like all my ideas just hit me out of one day, like, you know what, share this. And it's like, hey, that'd be a good, at least get a good reaction out of y'all and whatnot. So
what's up? How we gonna keep this rolling, brother? Because you know what I mean, we done the podcast thing before. You know what I'm saying? Then we kinda like fell back off of it. And are you coming back to this again? Are you going to keep this? Let this be a little normal thing
on a regular basis. Yeah.
Okay. What you thinking? Once a week?
Huh?
Once a week, or however you may feel necessary.
I say once a week. Just seeing. Well, I gotta see what everybody's schedule is. I want to get more people on as well. Darius, you remember Darius? Well, he just got back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday, and you know, because he a little emotional creature himself, so I wanted to get him on and whatnot, and it just get more people on. We just had a conversation, just get in and just talk. And I mean, it's gonna be a lot more organized as far as like topics and just like that, and just go out there, just have our spiel, just talk. I feel like it's so especially in this time frame that we're in now, like just going out and just talking to people, and it uplifts you, makes you feel so much more, because we can't go out there and play basketball like we want to or do anything like that. And like when y'all was talking about basketball, I think it was yesterday, man, I was reading through this message, I just like got sad instantly. I'm like
depressed, bro.
I was like, there was one point in time where I went running around to see like I find a basketball court, and I need that in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all know how it feels to just have just the gym in general. Just to go there.
That's your escape, man. That's your escape from the world, bro. Like when you dribbling the rock fight, bro. When you shooting your shot, like you playing defense, and that's all you thinking about, bro. Yeah. All that other shit you escape from, bro. All that other shit that you got going on in your life, bro. You can get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Your girl getting on your nerves. Like things ain't going the way you want to. You can have money. You can have money issues. All that shit go away, bro. When you just on the court, bro. You just, bro. I'm here to hoop, bro. I'm here to get a bucket, and I'm here to talk shit while I'm doing it, bro. Like that's it. Like that's it, bro. But bro, like.
Yeah, I'm ready for this guy shit, man, because I'm trying to fuck y'all niggas up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hell yeah, I like the energy. I want the smoke. I saw what you did to Jack.
Yeah, you
I know, look, you got to toe up.
I was tired, head ass. I saw what you did to Jack, and I want the smoke.
Out of shape.
Okay.
I was out of shape. That was the excuse, right?
No, I'm not gonna say anything. It's just that when we see each other again, just know I'm gonna remember back to this.
I would remember ass whooping too. If I was you.
First of all, Jack, you lost some weight, brother.
You do look anorexic, boy.
You're looking a little skinny, a little light in the ass, brother. So yeah.
You look anorexic, boy.
Don't get confused though.
Neck look skinnier, look longer.
Yeah. Hey, that Calo, I don't know what you eating out there, brother, but Ashley, feed my boy.
I like it.
She need to feed my boy, B. Yeah.
Just be ready. Just be ready when the time comes.
Yeah,
all right.
You as well, because you already know I'm coming with. I'm coming for you now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I need that. But talk about.
Look, just make sure y'all boys ain't injured, cause you niggas get injured just like all the time. Y'all be healthy. Don't get injured, cause y'all always hurt for some reason. Yeah. Just stay healthy. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's why I refuse to watch the Jordan dog.
Why?
Because I know it's gonna take me somewhere I don't want to be.
You need to be there, man.
No, because you're gonna have all that feeling to want to play.
Bro,
I don't want to do that.
Bro, the doc is worth watching, bro. It's
I know it is.
I mean, I already knew like most of that, but you need to watch it, bro.
It's a refresher, bro. It's a reminder. Like a lot of niggas forgot, and now you just like, damn. It's a reminder why Jordan is the GOAT, bro.
Hold up, bro. That's what I was gonna ask y'all. Now we got the sports. Hold on, I don't know how much longer we got on this call, but y'all. So, what is y'all son? Can you please stop? Yeah, I know you're not. Yes, you're Spider-Man. You eat Spider-Man. All right, just sit right here. Come on. But sorry, man. His favorite. Appreciate you, son. His favorite superhero is Spider-Man. But do y'all believe Jordan is the GOAT? Like, and do y'all believe he's the GOAT? Because I feel like I'll say I believe he is the GOAT. I do believe he's the best of all time for different reasons than like for a variety of different reasons. But when y'all believe he's the GOAT, and if so, why? Like, what are your two main reasons why he's the GOAT?
Okay, go ahead, B.
Can I go first? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason why I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT is because people say that he didn't face great teams. But in my opinion, I think he stopped a lot of teams from being great. I feel like if the Jazz didn't go against Chicago Bulls, they would have had 2 championships. Just like Utah had 2 championships. I feel like a lot of these teams, if they didn't face against Chicago at that time, they would have got championships. A lot of people would have had rings. He stopped a lot of great players from getting championships. And as your job is to dominate your era. There is nothing else you can do. And for you to go 6 for 6 in the whole 90s era is dominance in itself. We had the conversation about dominance before. Not only dominance, but impact of the culture. But those are 2 reasons why I think that he's the GOAT. We talked about dominance before, and you can say that LeBron James dominated the East. I can't say that Kobe dominated the West. Shaq did. Shaq dominated, but I can't say that Kobe dominated the West. Hey, whoa, now 36.
Time out.
Hold on. I'm not done. Let me finish.
No. You open Pandora's box. Wait a minute. We're gonna bring that back.
We talk about the GOAT.
How can you say? Wait a minute. We gonna go to Jordan. We're gonna come back. We're gonna take a little side note right quick. How can you say Shaq dominated the West when he didn't win a ring until Kobe became within himself? And Kobe's only 22 years old.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in his prime.
You're right. All right. So answer this question.
And then no. When you look at the playoffs against the Spurs, when they played against the Spurs, who was more dominant?
Against the Spurs?
Against the Spurs.
What do you mean? Who was more dominant?
Go look at the play. Go look at the playoffs, bro.
Kobe did his thing. You talking about 2000 or 2001? Which one?
Kobe did his thing. Kobe dominated. He didn't just do his thing.
2000 or 2001?
It don't matter.
I'm asking you which one. Which year are you talking about?
Spurs.
No.
Okay. Now look. All right. So when we got to the finals, Why Kobe averaged 16 points? 2000.
What finals?
16. Hey, bro, hold on. No, hold on. Let me get my phone.
16.5.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Here we go. Because Shaq had damn near 40 and 20, and Kobe had 16 and a half, bro. Now, I was in the finals of 2000. 2001, Kobe and Shaq was here, 28, 29, 30 a game throughout the whole playoffs. But in the 2000 finals, the first one that they won, Kobe ain't show up.
What happened in 2004? I mean, what happened in 2004?
Bro, we talking about with Shaq. He wasn't with Shaq.
Right. He didn't do shit against Detroit.
He was with Shaq.
Yeah, but that whole team was old, bro. Like Gary Payton.
Hold up. First of all, in that finals against the Pacers, almost halfway through one of those games, Kobe rolled his ankle.
Okay.
Remember, he shot a shot. Jalen Rose stuck his little foot underneath his leg. He rolls his ankle, so he doesn't finish the game. My man hurt. He tries to play the next game, but can't, so he misses the game that he started. So if he had 0 points, that's going to kill his average.
Okay.
You just understand, Kobe got hurt in that first finals. So don't give my man 16 points. This man averaged 16 points in grade school. Like, he averaged 16 points because he coming out there just shooting, No. He got hurt, and
so
he missed. He still got registered for playing that game because he tried to play, but he could not. So my man got like 2 minutes, 0 points. You only play 6 games. So that's 2 games.
15.6?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, hold on. Hey, bro, I know the number. I round up. 15.6. My man said 16, so I'm going to give him 16. My man had 2 games that he played technically, but didn't do much. So that kills his average. That's why he came back in the second final and said, yes.
Keep it down.
Okay. My thing is, what Trey said, as far as needing Kobe, Shaq needing Kobe, this is why I brought that up, is because Shaq did his thing. Shaq more so needed Phil Jackson because Phil Jackson was more so the mastermind, because Phil Jackson had the master plan to not only help Shaq get 3 championships, but shut Shaq down when he was in Orlando, right or wrong. Because Dennis Rodman had that boy clamped up.
So was that Phil Jackson or Dennis Rodman?
That's Phil.
You talking about a young Shaq?
Let me ask this question.
Not a prime Shaq, a young Shaq?
Because
when is talking about you trying to tell me
Shaq was going crazy against with the Magic.
Yeah, he went crazy. He went
even against the Bulls.
Even against the Bulls.
When they beat
the
Bulls
before they had
95?
Dennis Rodman. Before they had Dennis Rodman.
What you saying, Trey?
When they beat the Bulls in 95?
Yeah, 95 they beat the Bulls. Then they turn around and
even before the time the Magic was losing to them, Shaq was still getting easy on them.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman clapped them out. That's why they swept them in the first round.
Mentally.
Hey, that's
anyway,
a percentage of basketball. But back to this GOAT talk. Yes, I feel like he dominated his era. He did it fashionably, and he had a great impact. Now we talking basketball, pure basketball. We ain't talking about his off the court antics, this, that, and the third. But he was idolized, man. Nobody in the history of sports will ever be as big as Michael Jordan was, ever. As huge as he was, dog. Nobody will ever be as big. He changed the game not only for us over here, but internationally as well. Like you can see, like in the times like during the Dream Team era, bro, like the international basketball was completely different from what it is now. And those guys rather just be on the court just to say that they played with Michael Jordan instead of when LeBron got on the court or when Kobe got on the court, those dudes is trying to kill. You know what I'm saying? So the eras was just different. But I personally think, yes, I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He dominated his era. What more can you do?
Dre.
I'm waiting though.
I'm done.
Jack,
go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say Jack. He went for another walk. But look, so man, this my bad.
I always upset Kobe fans, man, and I respect Kobe to death, dog.
So
But
look,
I don't hear that.
Okay. You know what, Devin? You go, bro. You got it.
Do I think Jordan's the GOAT?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't really say that because I didn't watch too much of him. So I'm not as, I hear all the talk, I'm just doing based off what I've seen in my life and what I know. I can't vouch for another person's word or what they saw or anything like that. Okay?
Watch the documentary, brother.
I will once we get back outside and play ball. But it's always down to one or the other. You already know who the two we pretty much grew up watching. Kobe
and Bron.
And it's kind of, I never really, lean to one side or the other necessarily as far as who do I think it is. But this is what I look at like now. And I hate to like choose one, because if you choose one, it's like you're bringing down the other one, right? And as far as Kobe, like it's and then after his passing and whatnot, you find an even greater appreciation for him as well. As far as like even like growing up, Andre's ass has always been a Kobe fan. A good majority of people have always been a Kobe fan, so naturally, I wanted to go against that. And I didn't feel like I necessarily appreciated him as much as I should have, but I really did though, as far as like his technique, and I've always looked at his footwork more than anything in regards to how he plays in the post and how he gets his shots off. Like that's always amazed me, and that's why I kind of like gravitate towards Carmelo too, because he has amazing footwork as well.
My boy.
And then the thing about LeBron is like everything he did was just so exciting, as far as like his chase down blocks, his dunking, just him being the size that he is. And at the time when he was just getting nothing but like triple doubles, it was like, oh shit. Before it was what like as we grew up knowing, it was like just like Jason Kidd doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different with LeBron because
he getting 25, 27, 30 points a game with it.
And then it's like, wow, this is amazing. Then it's kind of in a way got normalized with Russ.
Westbrook, yeah.
He just took off with that, but it was just at the time it's just like you just caught in the whole amazement of it all, and then obviously his rings don't add up in comparison to the other GOATs.
They don't.
Yeah, but it's like it's all come down to like personal preference, really. Like, who do you more relate to? Who do you feel? It's just me personally, I cannot necessarily decide. It's just that I just want to take parts of the game and like that, put them together. That will make the best player. But I'm just talking in a circle.
What you're saying is your GOAT is like your creative player on 2K.
I would never say that. That's like disrespect. It's like, in a way, it's like that's make believe. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
But if I wanted to, like, for the longest period of time, I was like, who would I like to model myself towards? And I always look like, well, I want to do everything. So I would lean towards LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me personally. But
see, the reason why I wasn't as much of a Kobe fan as others is because I was an AI fan. I love AI to death. So it was like, for me, I was like, that nigga got Shaq, bro. Like, if AI had Shaq, he would have had 3, 4, 5 rings too. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt about the situation. I feel like Kobe was in a better situation than AI was. And you know, AI, he's listed at 6 foot. Nigga not 6 foot, bro. Like 5'11", 5'10", shortest MVP ever, man. And he changed the game tremendously. Like tremendously. He changed the game. So for me, like my own personal goal is AI, but the greatest of all time to ever touch the game of basketball, to ever play the game of basketball, for me it was Jordan. He stopped a lot of people from being great. If the Bulls never would have separated, who knows? Maybe the Lakers never get Phil Jackson. Who knows? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Kobe and Shaq don't get, you know what I mean, those 3 championships. Who knows? Maybe the Spurs never become the Spurs because they're not able to get past. Jordan might have won 2 or 3 more. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? So I just think he stopped a lot of people. If I was Chicago, I would have just let that bitch run till the wheels fell off instead of blowing it all up. But niggas wanted to get younger, and now the franchise has never been the same. But that's neither here nor there. Monty?
Yes.
Do you have something to add on to that?
I'm gonna keep it Jordan. You feel me? I ain't even gonna, cause I can go Kobe, but I'm gonna keep it Jordan. Do I think Jordan is the GOAT? I'll say I didn't really like Jordan. I wasn't a Jordan fan. I like Pippen more because when you look at the playoff numbers, outside of scoring, Pippen was just better than Jordan. But if we talk about his whole demeanor, like everything that he brought to the game, outside the game, like all that, then he the GOAT based off that. But if we just talking about strictly basketball, right? Okay, they won 6 straight. He went undefeated. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, in the finals, he didn't go more than 6 games. That's great, right? But if you look at the numbers outside of that, like individual stats, I don't know. But I'll say he the GOAT. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. I'll say he the GOAT. But my individual GOAT would be Kobe. And the only reason I say, y'all know how I feel about Kobe, right? You think about Jordan, you think about LeBron, you think about their athleticism. Kobe didn't have it, bro. His shit was just pure skill. No, I'm not gonna say he didn't. He didn't have a little bounce. But we think about Bron, you take his athleticism away, he basically Magic Johnson, bro. But you know what I'm saying? His athleticism changed him from being Magic Johnson. I don't know why they compare him to Jordan. I don't see it at all. Maybe because or whatever, but he's an athletic Magic Johnson to me. That's just it. I don't understand why they compare him to Jordan.
Hey, you know, I saw something the other day talking about the overrated, you know, like the greatest basketball players that are overrated.
Yeah.
And the 2 that came up was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Larry Bird played a whole game left-handed, bro. Whole game.
When you look at the highlights, a lot of them were like layups.
I don't care. That's how it was back then, dog. You can't take away how he played the game at that time because you used to it playing it right now, how it looks right now.
I feel like Magic Johnson had a great advantage at being 6'9", and he didn't have to have a smooth ball handle. And that's what people want to take away from Magic Johnson, is the fact that he was a point guard but didn't have a smooth ball handle. They feel like he was over. A lot of his best ball handling skills came from in the transition, not in the half court. But back then, bro, why would I need to have a ball handle to get by you when I can just back you down and get to my spot and where I want to go because I'm 6'9" and the person who's guarding me is going to be a lot smaller.
Because that shit didn't happen with Scottie Pippen.
It's very true. I mean, but if anything, you can say Ben Simmons is Magic Johnson. Will Magic Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only person you could really compare. I personally think so. It's close, you know what I'm saying, as far as skill set and who you are as a basketball player. I would say Ben Simmons, but I wouldn't say LeBron.
That's crazy when you think about it. Someone playing the point guard position, and the only thing he do is back you down and pass the over, man.
Always have a jumper.
Huh?
LeBron always have a jumper.
Of course, his first 4-5 years, he didn't have a jumper. Man, been in the league for how long now?
Okay, and he still can't hit free throws.
That's not a jumper.
I mean, you got to have a jumper to shoot free throws.
He has a jumper though.
It's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of
I would compare him no.
He got a better shooting percentage than Kobe.
Okay, and your point would be what?
You asked me, does he have a jumper?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not. Look, we ain't even, as far as skill set, we're not even gonna compare LeBron and Kobe. That's not even comparable, bro. You need to don't do that. Please.
So who you want to compare Bron to?
Ben Wallace.
Honestly.
Something like that.
So look, I legit believe LeBron is like a souped up Scottie Pippen. Like, that's legit what LeBron is. The only difference is LeBron probably got like 40 more pounds on him. Mm. But like, if you really think about it, his game is just like Pippen. Pippen didn't like his game is legit, in my opinion, like Pippen. Pippen did all those little things, whoop, 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 and he would end up with like 22 points. LeBron, he might end up with, he ends up with like 26, 28 or whatever. But a better record, Pippen. And he's not like Magic because he shot the ball a little bit too much. Magic, I'm a diehard Laker fan. So, I know I've watched a lot of Magic games on like Hardwood Classics and stuff like that. Magic really not that impressive to me personally. You know what I mean? But I didn't live in that time, so I can't like speak to his. It's different when you like living in it and you feel the impact they have or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but back to like the GOAT question, son. Okay, that's cool. Good. To me, I do believe Jordan is the best of greatest of all time. Close the door, please, Brooklyn. Close the door. It's not closed. Close the door. I do believe Jordan's the greatest of all time. Kobe's the greatest. Hey, hold up. My bad, fellas. My bad. Yeah.
You good, bro?
Kobe's the greatest of my time. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, Kobe's my son. I'm talking. He's the greatest of my time. Like, what he represented, and like, obviously, you can make a case against the most missed shots of all time, blah, 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 whatever. Honestly, most of his missed shots was his last season when he passed, when he even got that, I won't even say accomplishment, but that record or whatever. But like, honestly, man, when you go back and look at Jordan's highlights, nobody's highlights look like his, bro. Like, he just looked like a different person than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's weird, but like, he just doesn't look. I could see where Larry Bird was like, that was God, this guy was Magic, Michael Jordan, or like when people think like he was Superman or he wasn't human, because he just looked different. You know what I mean? Like, so he was like super skilled. Well, he was super athletic. Then he was skilled, and then he had the will that was unmatched. So he had all three things. You know what I mean? So like, that's where it's like, I can't argue that. He's the greatest. Like, and then not many people can be like, oh yeah, I made it to the championship round and I've never lost. You know what I mean? People say, oh well, LeBron had to go through this and blah blah. But every time he got, what is he like, 3-6 or something like that? Now he did make it to 8 straight finals, and that is like super impressive. Don't get me wrong, that's super impressive. But 3-6, bro. Like, 3-6. One of those years you won in a lockout year. So you know, I can't. He lost to the Mavericks, who had Dirk.
Whoa. I'm gonna stop you right there, bro.
See, I don't like that. Like the.
I'm gonna stop you right there because that Mavericks team. Not only did they beat the Lakers, who went to the finals the year before, they beat the Oklahoma City team, who went to the finals the year later, and turn around and beat that Heat team. So that we got to give people their flowers while they still alive, and we need to give.
Listen.
We got to give that Mavericks team more credit.
I understand. Look, I completely understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? The Mavericks. You didn't add that the Mavericks were down 2-1 to the Portland Trailblazers in the first round, and they finally found a way to slow down Brandon Roy. They should have lost in the first round, but they didn't. So they beat Portland. Then they beat the Lakers. The Lakers were already falling apart.
Yeah.
You know what? Crazy story, bro. So I went to UTA. Son, if you hit your head again, you gonna put yourself to sleep. So I went to UCA, so it was my first year in college, 2011, whatever, and I bought 4 Laker shirts. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear one after every Laker win. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Phil Jackson, he only wins championships in 3s, blah, blah, blah. We about to 3-peat. We gonna have 6. I'm going crazy. UCA is in Arlington, right here in Dallas. All right, shit. Yeah. And like crazy. So, you know, they lose the first game. Cool. They should have won the first game. But whatever. Second game they lose. They should have won the second game as well. And I'm like, niggas.
Bro, why you gotta bring that up?
Yeah, bro, exactly. So they lose game 3. And I'm like, shit, you know. So these dudes at my dorm, they're like, hey, bro, you want to come down and watch game? Hell no, I ain't watching game 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad. So they lose game 4. And I'm just like, first of all, I didn't go to class for a week. I was like, I can't go to class for a week. But like after the game, everybody knocking on my door, woo, woo, woo. So I'm not answering because I already know what it is. Like, I'm like, all right. So finally, you know, probably about 10 minutes later, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and just check the scene real quick. Bro, I opened my door. These niggas put brooms and dustpans all in front of my door, bro. And I turned down the hallway, and they come from around the corner. Everybody just laughing, right? I did not leave my room for about 3 days. Didn't go to class for a week. And I remember that. Like, I remember it to, like, so, yes, they beat the Lakers, and they beat OKC. Cool. But if Bron is that dude, I feel like Bron wins that series. You know what I mean? Like, you got Bron.
No, I agree. He damn sure crabbed up.
He wasn't even the best player on the Miami team in the finals.
Right. That year? D-Wade was.
My bad, son. D-Wade was the best player on that team, bro. Yeah. D-Wade was still that nigga. Everybody talking about LeBron. D-Wade was still that dude. So I was low-key disappointed in D-Wade because he was referring to LeBron. D-Wade, honestly, there was 2 years in the league. I think D-Wade was better than LeBron. But, you know, LeBron the chosen one. D-Wade was that nigga, bro.
He was.
Think about this. We gonna take it back to 2003, rookie season. Melo won.
Western Conference
every
month.
Rookie of the month. Every month. And how he not win, bro?
And he went to the offs. Bron didn't.
How he went not to the win?
Offs. He didn't. Melo ain't missed the playoffs until he got to the Knicks, bro.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Knicks. He went to Chicago, but that's a different story.
Bro, don't get me started about Melo, bro. Melo, bro.
Hey, you know what's even more disrespectful, bro? You know that list that ESPN put out of top 74 players all time?
Bro, don't do that. Dre, don't bring that up.
Melo wasn't on there, bro. Melo wasn't on that top 74 of all time, bro.
But they got Westbrook at 42. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they didn't.
They got Dame. They got Dame at like.
They got Dame at 70. They had Dame at 72. Kyrie's not on the list.
Dame on there before Melo.
Exactly,
Kyrie ain't on the list.
Melo not on the list. Kyrie not on the list.
Melo got the greatest shooting percentage for like you know what I'm saying, for like game, you know what I mean, game ending or you know what I mean, game time buckets. He's like the most clutch player in the league.
I think so. I will say this. Like, I think people don't realize like the game started moving away from Melo a little bit. But if Melo would have played in like the '90s, he would have been so much better.
All day.
So much better.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Should have went to Chicago.
He said what?
He should have went to Chicago.
He should have went to Detroit. We got drafted.
Well, I'll say yeah.
I just said that.
Bro,
I just said that, bro.
I'm gonna keep it.
We was literally in the group chat, and I just said that, bro.
You did. When the Knicks they had Stoudemire, Chauncey Billups, who else was it? J.R. Smith, all the boys. There's no way they should have lost to Miami, dog.
Right.
In my mind, they shouldn't have lost to Miami. They had the best record. Did they have the best record in East LA? No, they was second.
No, they had the best record. They had the best record. Yeah.
They shouldn't have lost.
I think that was the year Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd was the PG, not Chauncey.
What team?
The Knicks. When they had like the best record in the East or something like that.
Yeah, J. Kidd was the point guard.
I think J. Kidd was the PG.
They shouldn't have lost. Period.
Shows you how great LeBron is, huh?
They lost to the Pacers though, right?
No, they lost to Miami.
No, they lost to Miami, didn't they?
They lost to Miami.
I don't think they played. They played. They were supposed to play them in the conference finals. I don't think they made it.
I thought they lost to the Pacers in the second round of the year.
Yeah, I know. They beat the Knicks. The Miami beat the Knicks to play the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, that year.
But that wasn't the year that the Knicks had that best record though. That wasn't that same year.
Yeah, because
I think that's why I thought they had like the second best record, third best in the East at that time.
Yeah, okay. I know the year they had like the one of the top records. They played the Pacers. They got knocked out by the Pacers. The Pacers are just bigger than them. That's all I didn't know.
Roy Hibbert was down there killing, isn't
he? He was good. He was solid at one point in time too.
He was solid.
So Tab, the question was from B. Was it B?
Yeah. No, I think Dre.
Dre.
Yeah.
My bad, Dre. Like who you consider the GOAT?
He a Bulls fan, man. So you already know his answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you a Bulls fan? Hey, bro.
For life.
We for lifers. Twin.
For lifers. Yeah. Mike is the GOAT, bro.
Oh yeah, they did get put out by Indiana.
Yeah, they got put out 4-2, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
13. Yeah.
So somebody who we need to give their flowers to.
I like that.
Danny Granger, bro. He was Paul George before Paul George.
He was.
Yeah, look. He was solid for Indiana when he was sorry.
When him and Paul, bro, if he didn't get hurt, it's like once he got hurt, then it allowed Paul George to step up and be the man.
Yeah.
They drafted Kawhi. Just imagine them three. Oh my gosh, bro! Just imagine them three players, bro. Kawhi, Paul George, and Danny Granger didn't get hurt.
He traded for George Hill. That was
Will Kawhi be the same player if he didn't come up on the pop?
I think. Who knows?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Who knows? Like, to be honest, there are a lot of players who come up under pop and don't elevate like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like some people got that heart. Some people got that will and want to be better. He was just in the right position to do so and shine. But that don't mean he couldn't have been great on both ends of the court.
It was timing too, man. He stepped into that system.
Perfect timing.
I think it's hard to say because Kawhi got all the tools, though. You know what I'm saying? Big, freakishly big hands, athletic, strong. So it's almost like if he'd be one of those guys that if he wasn't good, it'd be a disappointment, regardless of where he went. Even though he wasn't like highly like recruited or whatever, he wasn't like highly sought after in the draft. But like if
we'll
you
be
really
looking at
look
the
at
guys.
them now,
Yeah.
if you look at them now, it's kind of like, dude, if you weren't good, you'd be like
a waste of height.
Yeah, you'd be like the most freakish bum. You know what I'm saying? Like he legit has all the tools.
Yeah,
so
naturally has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made for
So I don't know. That's kind of like I think I actually feel like Rudy Gay is one of those guys, bro. I feel like Rudy Gay could have been so much better than what he really became, bro. 6'8", athletic, could shoot, got the mid range, the three, could get to the basket, but he's not even he's never been considered a top player in the league.
You know,
I said the same thing about Vince Carter.
Hey, don't get Devin started with Vince Carter, bro. If you ask that nigga, he gonna be like, "Hey, Vince Carter the GOAT."
I would never sit there and say some shit like that. It's just that I was always fascinated with his game, and as a kid, I always just see him dunking and doing highlights. I'm like, that's what I want to fucking do, and I just gravitated towards that.
I feel that same way that you feel about Rudy Gay. I feel that way about Jabari Parker. He's just at one point, when I watch him, bro, I was like, bro, this nigga is freakishly fast, got the handle, can shoot the mid range. Like coming out of college, I thought this nigga was gonna be the next Melo. I was like, oh, this nigga gonna be the next Melo, bro. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And even before he got hurt, he just never.
Yes,
he was showing signs of it though.
Yeah, especially when he was with the Bucks, he had signs where he was like, okay, he kind of he liked that, but then he'll be like one game, he'll be like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Like, right.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's just a Bulls fan in me. When he came to Chicago, I thought he was gonna hoop, and he had a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, he might be on to something. But
all right, bro. Hey, Tim, I'm gonna test Ted real quick. Who's the big All-Star snub this year?
Biggest All-Star snub this year?
Yeah.
I would have to
Levine.
Huh? Yeah, he definitely gonna say Zach.
Is it Levine? Okay.
I don't think he's the biggest snub though.
You Chicago fan? Nah, Levine. What? Levine, nice, bro.
Levine definitely not. He's not the biggest snub. He more of a snub than Bradley Beal.
Yes. Zach Levine, bro, he's been hooping for the last 3 years. Niggas just don't notice it, bro. He was last year for the Bulls, bro.
Yeah, Levine, I agree. I'm not arguing.
Look, the reason why he ain't getting noticed is because
30 a game.
Go ahead, Jack.
Them niggas losing bad.
Levine was putting up 30 balls, bro.
Washington losing bad. What you mean?
You're right, they are, yeah.
So like
that's why neither one of them make.
That's why.
No, they have Trae Young make it. If you want me to be real, Zach Levine having a better year than Trae Young.
The fans, bro. The fans. Come on, man. You know the fans vote the starters, and then the coaches and the rest of everything vote the reserves. You know that the fans voted Trae Young because ain't no other PGs that was available in the East. No Kyrie. Kyrie ain't been hooping.
How's Kyrie not on the list?
Bro, this thing, bro. Kyrie's favorite player was Kobe. So once Kyrie started trying to talk like Kobe to the media and like they started eating him apart or eating him alive, then I think like his perception, like the perception of him went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he started talking and people didn't agree with what he would say or he would say whatever. So I think people just have a negative outlook on Kyrie. But like,
I got a negative outlook on Kyrie.
Let me tell you something. I'll put you like there's you look at all of the
Brooklyn.
PGs. Look at all the PGs in the league, dog.
Hold up, bro. I'm not trying to cut you off. But Devin just said Brooklyn, and he like just became a fan 3 years ago. So, I just can't, you know what I'm saying? So my bad, I got to call him out on that. Like, bro, you can't say.
No, it actually happened like what 2014 is when I decided that
you were gonna be a Nets fan.
I'm gonna be a Nets fan. Yep.
So what was you doing? So what was you doing before then?
I wasn't a fan of a team.
This man said he didn't have a team, bro.
Trash
He
now.
was like,
And out of everybody, you picked the Nets.
Yeah, because that's where I watch majority of Vince Carter's games, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stay here.
You know he was playing with the Nets like before that.
Hello.
You said what?
You know he was playing with the Nets before.
Yeah, I know that.
That's where you watched them.
That's where I like watch majority of the stuff.
In 2014.
No,
he's just saying
no.
in general.
That's when I
like,
decided to be there. That's when
Okay.
I decided to be. I wanted to be like you, just like everybody else. They have a team. I don't have a team, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna label this as home. This is where I'm gonna be at. This is where This is it.
Okay.
So that's where that came from.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Dre, because we met him as a Nets fan. It just so happened to be he had just became a Nets fan right when we met him. The sneaky motherfucker.
They were sorry then.
Interesting.
They were sorry then. They sorry now.
Sorry,
You right there with me, Ted.
If you want to be honest, if you notice, the year that he said that he became a Nets fan is the year that they got Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, they had Joe Johnson, and Darren Williams. First year that they went back to the playoffs, and this nigga became a fan. So it wasn't.
But look. So I could sit there and say that about a Lakers fan. Like,
whoa.
I've been a Lakers fan since 1998, bro. What you mean? I was 6 years old. I didn't even know anything.
I'm not saying you per se. I'm saying like the mass majority of why you would gravitate towards the teams because of the success they had.
True.
Lakers
Because if you're not from there, it's different.
Exactly, especially when you're not from there.
A lot of niggas nowadays don't even like teams. They like players.
Yeah, I can understand why people think that way. Like you don't own no kind of.
Nah, don't come to my team, dog. Liking the player, dog. You stay where you was at. I don't like.
See me. I was a Seattle fan. I was a Seattle fan before I was a Oklahoma City fan. So we've been there. I've been there.
I just where I was following events when he was with the Magic, I was a big supporter then. It's just that after seeing them getting swept by the Lakers, I was like, well, that was before I think. But after him like just having this little reign with the Magic, I was like, you know what? I gotta have a team. Yeah.
I got a question. Do y'all think that Bulls team? Then I think it was the '96 Bulls. Anyway, whatever Bulls team y'all want to choose was the most dominant team all time.
No.
Yes.
No.
What?
Yes.
Okay, Dre, why you say no?
I think because they were dominant, but if you look at the NBA back then, I think 94? 94 or 95 is when the league added like 4 new expansion teams. I think it was the it was like I'd have to look. I don't have.
No, you're right. It was the 2 Canada teams, Vancouver and Toronto. If I'm not mistaken. And then it was, I think, that wasn't when Charlotte came. It was 2 others. You're right. It was some expansion teams in there.
So Toronto. So Eastern Conference, they play what? They play every team on the East like 3 or 4 times. So you have up to I want to say by that time they had 4 new expansion teams. So you have 4 teams that you're going to play 3 to 4 times. That's about 12 to 15. That could be anywhere between 12 to 15 wins, just because.
No, it was 2 on the West. It was 2 on the West, 2 on the East.
So okay, so say 2 on the East. So we'll say 2 on the East. They get 8 games, and then they get. Yeah, so then they get 2 on the – they'll play Western Conference team twice, so that's 12. So that's total 12 games. So that's 12 games you're going to play against teams that ain't shit because they just came to the league. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to look at their schedule too. Now, granted, like, I do think going 72-10 is, like, ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. But I think, like, I don't think they're at that dominant just because, like, the league is different. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have new teams come in, like, those teams, their management's not going to be good. Their ownership's not going to be good. And players aren't going to be good. So, like, there's going to be teams.
The playoffs?
Yeah, now that's where I don't have that. I'm just saying.
Because they swept the playoffs until they got to the Supersonics. And if you watch the film, me personally, they played the Supersonics that year, and they lost 2. But I think that the reason, me personally, I think this could be on some conspiracy shit. But I think Jordan manipulated it to where he could win his 4th title, his first title without his dad on Father's Day. Because when you watch it, you see the emotion that he had behind it. You know what I'm saying? That meant something to him.
Makes for a good story.
So I mean, you see the reaction that he had where there was like, Gary Payton was like, yeah, man, I was pounding, I was hitting him, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was doing this, I was doing that, the third, you know what I mean, they should have let me drop him for the first 3 games. And Jordan, Jordan get that response like, I had no problem with the glove. I really feel like he manipulated it to where that's just me. That's just me personally. When you got it like that, I think you can do things like that. Okay, yeah, I might chill out these next couple of games. You know what I mean? Just play on a little Father's Day. You know, in honor of my father, and then you won your first championship without him. I think, to be honest, they could. If they wanted to sweep, I think we could have swept them. That's just me personally. But I'll be back.
That's a good question, though. That's a really good question because I don't know how you.
Who else?
We gotta go ahead and wrap it up anyway. You gotta give me something to eat myself.
This is a good one, fellas. This is a good one.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's good having y'all on here, man. We do this on a regular basis, and we'll be a lot more organized and things like that. We probably put a time. Well, I probably won't put no time on it because it's always good to just go on and talk. So,
what this is? How much time we clocking right now? This had to be about 2 hours.
It's probably like 2.5.
Man, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, this is it, man. We back. I gotta go find out and get some Ashley something to eat and.
Oh, that's so funny.
You said bye.
Yeah, man. What you say?
What's that? Ada said bye.
Yeah, he said bye.
No.
He was saying night. This nigga gonna go to sleep. Bro, they went to sleep at 2:00 in the morning yesterday because their mama. I went and picked them up from their mom, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I picked them up at 6." She's like, "Yeah, they just woke up from a nap." I was like, "What time they go to sleep?" She was like, "They went to sleep at 12." I was like, "So you let them sleep from 12 to 6?" She's like, "Yeah, I had to work." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my.
All right. Cool. That was a setup, bro. I'm like, they're on the schedule. You can't be doing that, but it's all good. So I'm about to get these little munchkins to sleep, man. So, but y'all take it easy, man. It's good talking to y'all. Hopefully I get on next week.
All right.
Say less.
When this Corona ends too, y'all got to come out to Dallas, bro.
Definitely gonna get that.
Oh, of course.
Bro, just whatever y'all need, any questions y'all have, let me know. I'm out here already, so I'll get shit set up for you and stuff. We'll be solid. And I'll tell you, were you on here? No, you probably wasn't. They was talking about hooping earlier.
Nah, I missed
it. Nah, he left.
Oh, he left.
Dre said he was gonna bust your ass. That's basically what he did.
I said no, nah, bro. I didn't single you out, bro.
He said he was gonna fuck. He said he's gonna do you like he did Jack. I just want you to know that ahead of time.
Hold up, bro. Y'all seen that video? We played a 50 and I beat this nigga.
Yeah.
Bad, man.
I love it. I love every aspect of what you're saying right now. Because when I see you again, it's like that.
I was on Instagram Live. I watched it as it happened. I called the cops like I'm witnessing a murder. Give me some help.
Yeah, funny.
You don't worry about it, because it's gonna be some footage and everything.
Bro, I'm itching to hit the gym, bro. I need to get a shot up, bro.
Yeah.
This shit depressing.
Yeah, it is depressing.
Yeah, man.
We'll do it next week, you said, Jack?
Yeah, I'll hit the chat and I'll put it out there.
For sure. Everybody bring a topic. Should be good talks.
Hey, bro, you're gonna have to add me to the chat, bro, because I don't know.
About to, yeah.
Yeah. Don't hit me up the day of and say,
yeah.
Like, bro, hit me up the day before or something. But all right, bro, y'all take it easy, man. Be safe out there.
All right, y'all take care, man.
All right.
All right.
Keep